Good evening, everybody. Driver's briefing is done and dusted. Everybody is, I was saying the pits, but that would be lying because in the background we do have Jabulani, who is currently out on track. Morris, your power's just come on. We're ready for round number 5 here at Barcelona. And man, oh man, I can tell you now, the practice server has been absolutely crazy. I put my head in there a little bit earlier. The top 6 drivers were separated by 0.4 of a second.
That is just awesome. I hope that bodes well for what's to come now. I can't wait.
No, really looking forward to that. And obviously a little bit of a format change this evening. Now we head away from the sprint races. We go into the 1 hour race with 1 mandatory pit stop. The other caveat within the series is that only 2 sets of tires. So whoever's out on track now is going to be eating up a set of tires and plus still need to qualify them.
I really like that twist. It really had me excited at the last one, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
So let's have a quick look because as the series has been going on, we've been asking different drivers to send us their lap. And Andreas Roda, one of the winners from Barcelona last week, has been kind enough to send us this. Let's have a look.
Up and higher, make all the demons quiet. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up and higher, make all the demons quiet. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough.
And that's the importance about having a transition, because that was the wrong one. What I'm trying to show you is Andreas Rodio's track guide. Let's have a look. So we pick up from Andreas. He comes now into turn number 15. You can see using as much of that exit as possible. Nice tight up on the inside. You're going to see he's going to use a maximum runoff here. Now crossing the start-finish line, and you can see that staying as far to the left as possible. And it's absolutely incredible how wide he goes here into turn number 100 meter board, down into second gear, clips the inside curb, as well as on 3, and that Lamborghini really doing well there. Little lift here into turn number 4, but then on the power nice and early, and he's going to see how he's just opening up that wheel ever so slightly to run as wide as possible. Now into turn number 5, you can see that wheel's just moving a little bit, just trying to get that rear planted. Now into turn number 6, down into second gear. Back on the power now. He's going to stay to the outside through the S's here. Onto a second. You can see this Lamborghini really hooked up here. It's able to use a lot of the curbs. And a little lift here. Get the car in. Back on the power again. Again, using a maximum of the exit there as he possibly can. Now into the stadium section on the brakes. Through the hairpin. And again, going to go as wide as possible here. Then taking curbs on the inside here and trying not to get too much curb because that can unsettle the rear, but then again, very wide on the exit. Now this is what I found was quite interesting. He goes quite wide, but then hard on the brakes, stays middle of the track, quick little turn in, touches it inside, doesn't hit the sausage curb. Now out of turn number 16, he will get himself ready and cross the line, and he does a 144.1, an absolute flyer of a lap. So really going to look forward to seeing how that transpires later on in the race. So, oh, hold on, what's going on here?
Oh, Christopher Radloff is here. That's very good to see. I was looking forward to him being here.
Oh, no. Confirm, cancel. I want to drive. There we go.
This is not a one-lap quali.
This is a one-lap quali.
Oh, excuse me, I wasn't sure.
But now what I've realized is that all our information is not showing.
I must say that Ferrari looks hooked up. Oh, is it your overlays?
All my overlays were gone, but there they are, everybody. Sorry for that, but at least now we are up and running. But just having a look to see what's happening on the chat. And Lala, yes, she says I'm always the first. Well, Lala, I can tell you something. We had Daniel War Machine Morales. He used to always get first dips, but yes, this is definitely going to you. So everybody, we will be getting up and running shortly with the proper commentary while we just get these overlays sorted. But there we go. So far we've got Ryan Oatson's out in front, having set that fastest time.
Oh, now I see the corners on the track map is also all squiggled up. Corner 1 is corner 8 there on that.
That is not correct.
That's interesting. Right, if you could maybe just put up the lap times there.
Yep, that will be up right away.
Ottens, I know, has done a lap. That was a 144 flat almost. 0.085. That's a decent for a one lap flyer. Quan du Plessis, I don't know what he did. Christopher Radloff.
There we go.
Christopher Radloff coming in third. Manuel fourth. So all the first runners laps are coming in now.
So there's Charles Walker now out on a flyer. We'll just grab Sean Lorero, so he's now going to be crossing line to do his flyer. We've also got Adrian Russell. He's out on his outlap now as well.
Well, I must say, there's a couple of names that are new.
That is correct.
Interesting. That's very nice to see. I see Mr. Porzio is new.
We have unfortunately lost I think there's 3 drivers from LNR. They had double committed themselves to a series that they'd signed up, and obviously with us having our break didn't realize that it would run over. So we have lost Paul Fencer and the likes, but there are still some that are here.
Also, I don't see Terry Wilfred.
Yeah, Terry is unfortunately not here. He actually has an eye infection, believe it or not. So Marcus Stein also currently out on a flying lap. So we'll see. He is chasing down a Shoal Wilkin currently. But let's just get those best laps up.
Well, a little bit deep into that chicane, which compromises his exit a little bit, but solid exit. Let's see where that puts him.
So 5th position there for Shoal.
145 flat. Yeah, that exit, that last couple of corners, I could see that he just pushed a little bit too deep into the chicane.
So Mohat Musa, he'll be doing his outlap. Let's just quickly grab there. So Christian Deploy, he is going to be doing his flying lap now as well. Chris Heineke coming through the last corners. So now into turn number 16. Let's see who's we've got behind him. So Giovanni Porzio, a new driver, out on a flying lap. But we've now got Adrian Russell coming through turn number 16. He crosses the line, and that puts him up into 6th place. Next to come across the line is Isham Domingo. So he is now on his flying lap. We can get the action back to Mohat Musa, because there are quite a few cars on circuit. You can see just behind him is Christian, followed by a Jabulani. And I said to myself, I'm going to practice his surname, and it comes out as Amadzi Vandono. So I hope I got that right, Jubs. But we'll just call him Jubs, so we know that there aren't any issues. So Mohat Musa's livery are not showing here. And I did do a little sync there. So Alala, to answer your question, how many drivers there are this evening? We have a total of 30 drivers racing here tonight. It's still an absolute great showing. But I must say, the man who's actually doing an extremely quick time here is Christian, because he's really closed that gap up on the back of Mohat. So Mohat is going to put himself in a 9th place. And
10th place.
10th place. So Christian.
Okay. Christian Deploy went into 2nd place with also with a one. Whoa! Only a few hundredths of a second.
Yeah, that was so close. Well, here comes Chris Heineke. We know that he's going to find himself up the order. So 6th place there for him. Next to across the line is Giovanni. Giovanni is going to cross the line, and that puts him in 3rd place. Great lap there for him. Tyler Humphreys out on his outlap.
Oops,
as well as Michael just finding the limitations of those curbs there. And Bashir Jadwath also out on track. It's going to be very interesting to see where he puts himself, because as I drop down the order, the first 10 places are separated by 1 second.
That Porsche looked good through that chicane.
Quite solid over the curb there. Wilfred Robson, it is a...
Where did that put him?
No, that was just an outlap.
Oh.
So Wilfred now on his outlap. Let's see who is next on track. And that is Jobs. He's going to be coming around to do his lap. And right behind him is Andres Rodeo. We saw him do that 1:44.1. Right, just getting well out of the way there. Well done. So let's just
I
check.
also haven't spotted France. Flip.
Oh, Jobs is deep. So Flip Van Zyl actually isn't here this evening.
Oh, okay. So I didn't miss it. No.
So Jabulani now approaching the line. He will cross the line, and that puts him up into 17th place. Loic Randabel. So he crosses line. That's 12th place there for him.
Well done.
Andre Sorodio now on his flying lap.
I wonder, there's 3 minutes left. Jude Neville has not gone out yet, or maybe he did and I didn't see, and he invalidated his lap, or he's waiting.
So haven't seen him out either. So Tyler Humphreys will cross the line. That's 7th place there for him. And then Michael Strubeck, we saw him earlier just jumping on that curb. 15th place. Next is Bash. Where does that put him? That's a 9th place there for Bash. Now coming through turn number 16, Wilfred Robson. He is going to approach the line, crossing the line. That puts him into a 15th place. Neil Greening, one of the LNR boys, coming out of the last corner. He will get himself on his flyer. But now we'll focus on Andres Rodeo as he comes out of turn number 9, approaching turn 10. And I must say, his Lamborghini definitely does look hooked up. And with the lights up front, it actually looks like the rear of the car is actually wider than the front. It actually is quite an interesting
it is a cool
little optical illusion.
Yeah.
So out of now turn number 16, we're going to be watching the timing. So 6th place there for Andre.
That is a good lap.
Len Neary now really attacking those curbs. So Len will across the line. That's 22nd place there for him. And Grant Sebastian is gonna just get that time in. So we jump back onto Neil Greening through turn number 10.
Doesn't look like Jude Neville is going out for a qualifying lap.
Unless he's going to be doing a bit of a strategic pit stop, pitting early. Just putting a little bit of a splash and dash and hopefully bringing it home to the end.
Yeah. Looks like a man with a plan.
I know that Jude was saying that he was just struggling with the load shedding. He had to wait for his power to come on.
14th place. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So Grant Sebastian, also a newcomer here this evening.
Taking not every single track available.
Nice and basic looking livery, actually do quite like it. Just having a look here, we've got Izzy Forever, Lance and Chrome, Lace and Chrome saying go champ Porzio, as well as Tian is going go Qin. I got it right, and not Quan like he's referred to in other places, and I did make that mistake myself.
Oh, that was a good exit. This looks like a very solid lap from Sebastian. Good exit onto the main straight.
And that's a fifth place there for him.
Good lap. Good lap.
So let's basically see the top 13 places are separated by 1 second.
Yeah, that's awesome. It was very close.
That is absolutely incredible. I'm just got to jump in and go back into drive here.
Right, so it's Ottens on pole with Christian deploy in second place.
And
A
then
newcomer to me, Porcio in third. Very well done.
check this. This is how cool things are, is that we can go first place, Ryan Ottens, Christian deploy. How's this camera view? It's freaking amazing.
Awesome. Christopher Radloff, in what car is he? We didn't see
We
his
will.
lap.
We will. I did miss his lap, but Kewen in fourth place. Grant Sebastian, he's in fifth. There's Mr. Radloff in a BMW in a sixth position. Andres Rodeo seventh. Marcus Stein in eighth. Chris Heineke, he's in ninth place. Nicholas Manuel in the winning car for the Fanatec GT for Mazzano. For Valentino Rossi, so I'm sure he'll be hoping to get that up. Bashir in 11th place.
That right.
That was incredible. Adrian in 12th, Shoal Wilkin 13th, Fleming Bauer in 14th place, Neil Greening 15th, Tyler Humphreys in 16th, Loic Randabal, he is in 17th, Wilfred Robson 18th, Moat Musa 19th, Michael Struvic in 20th, expecting to see him coming up a little bit higher, Scott Brewer 21, Wayne Bond in 22nd, then AD Bond 23, Len Neary 24, Rafael Tough 25, Jabs 26, Ishan Domingo 27, Ruan Haneke 28th, Sean Lorero 29, and Jude Neville down in 30th place.
Yeah, I think that a whole bunch of guys, the bottom 7 or so, are thinking of a different strategy.
I can definitely attest to that. It does look like I agree with you there, even though I'm not in on some of those strategies.
Yeah, no, clearly I kind of know what their speed is, and I see they all opted to start further back. So I think they've got a plan.
So here we go, guys. 1 hour left to go. And it looked like Tyler Humphreys wasn't able to get his drive time started because what I'm seeing is that it's showing that he's in the pits. Can that actually...
Green light. Go, go, go.
So here we go.
And
We are now racing here at Barcelona. A 3 wide into turn number 1 generally doesn't work. But it looks like...
the deploy had a brilliant start. Otten struggled off the line. He was caught off guard there. So that was a very good start by...
So nice and clean. A little bit of touching, but nothing to write home about. And in the background there, you can just see how wide they all are coming out of turn number 3. But it's Christian Deploy out in front who's managed to get the jump on Orion Ottens.
Yeah, I saw that Ottens was very, very slow off the mark. I don't know what happened there, but Deploy had a dream start.
Well, absolutely fantastic. Just in terms of the start here, you can see little touches here and there, but the guys are still... on track, no yellows just yet, so we are at full racing speed here. That's it, guys. I can take my hat off and say well done to you.
Yeah, Christopher Radloff lost the position to Serodio. Oh, there's Serodio. Something happened to Serodio. He's dropping down the... yeah.
So let's just quickly go back there and have a look. Oh, that was looks like he's currently stopped and then all of a sudden going. So that looked like there might have been a bit of some malfunction or technicality there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, what is going on here?
How on earth?
So it looks like they're now coming out of the last corner. Get side by side. Oh, and
a little twitch from the outside from Sebastian, I think it was.
that
How
is
unlucky can you be?
2 incidents in the space of a couple of corners.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have too much, but his strategy is now deploy is still stretching that gap a little bit.
So we can see Ryan, unfortunately, having dropped that place. Christian up 1 position. Giovanni into 3rd place, holding his position, as well as Kewan and Grant in 5th place. Nicholas Manuel up 4. Bashir up 4. Christopher Radloff down 2. You can see Marcus Stanley down 3 as well. Yep.
Yeah, Christopher Radloff had contact with Serodia when at that incident to get around him. So I think that's why Radloff lost another place. Charles Wilkins made up a place as well.
So is this Sean Lerero going to be able to make a move now into turn number 1? And you're correct, so just seen Christopher Radloff going up a place and Sean able to... Oh!
That was the BMW that knocked the McLaren that knocked the Porsche.
That is the typical Constantino.
I'm just not sure who the BMW was because there's no livery on it.
So Giovanni half a second behind Orion Ottens, but there are lots of little battles starting to develop further down the field. We've got Bashir now is on the back of Christopher Radloff in that BMW. Christopher goes very wide through turn number 8 and almost unsettling that car.
I wonder if he's got maybe damage from that contact with Lerero. It doesn't look so visibly.
So it just looks like a little bit of scratches up on the paintwork, but nothing too hectic there. But now this battle between Stein, Wilken, Musa and Fleming Bauer.
Yeah, it looks like Stein is holding up Wilken a little bit. Charles Wilken looking very racy.
So a 4-way horse now having developed as they come out of turn number 16, and we can actually just get a check here. Speeds that the guys are getting now coming into turn 1. So currently fastest speed going into turn number 1 is Chris Haneke, 268 kilometers an hour. I thought that would be a little bit of interesting information that we can just check up later.
Yeah, that's nice and quick. Well, there goes an overtake. I think that's Musa, if I'm not mistaken.
So Musa now, he was behind. He did manage to get in front of Bauer, but just taking that position back. But I do want to jump up to Bashir because still trying to find his way around Mr. Christopher Radloff here.
Yeah, he's under big pressure. And not far behind them is Heineke and Randebel. That could easily turn into a 7-way horse, if you ask me.
And we've seen 2-way horses, 3-way horses, and a 4-way horse, but never a 7. But that could definitely make for some interesting times there.
Well, it looks very possible at the moment. If you look at that one shot, was about 7 cars. So that's awesome.
And the man moving up the order in his AMG, having retired the Porsche and going into the AMG is Jude Neville, having started at the back. You can see already up into 13th place. So he's having an absolute crack of a drive here as he moves to the inside and has a little attack here on Wilfred Robson, and able to make that move stick quite easily.
Wilfred Robson did not let up there. It would have been, wonder who came out on top at the end. But he would have had... okay, he did take the corner, but he's not giving up.
No, definitely not.
He's going for... Well, I almost thought he's going to go for the inside. That's Sebastian going wide off the track. And he's going to lose 2 places because of that.
So it looks like going up on the curb. Now sets himself up for turn number 5 on the marbles. Not able to get the car. Oh.
Whoa, that's unfortunate, but I think he should have lifted the throttle a little bit. The corner was taken.
And unfortunately losing out some places, but holding Heineke side by side, and Heineke goes a little bit deep, and now that allows Sebastian to go through, as well as Loic is able to get through.
Wow, everywhere something is happening. It's difficult to keep up with the changes of position. Well, Deploy has pulled out a healthy gap of about, I think it's almost 3 seconds by now.
So just watching, I did see the replay here, and this is of Adrian Bond, just getting it a little bit wrong. And going into the braking zone way too late, and allowing Serodio and Russell to move themselves up the order.
Yeah, that is a common thing into the 10 to sometimes miss that braking marker because you're focusing on the apex.
But you can just see how close those guys are all those times, still in the orange, which means they just within that second.
Wow, this is...
No, that's the wrong one. Apologies. So there is your 7-way horse, Morris. All cars in one shot.
Yeah, it's all coming together. And anything can happen because the previous lap we saw 4 changes of position.
So absolutely incredible. Wilken having a little show to the inside into turn number 10. And it's going to be who can get the car down and settled and get the drive out.
Wow, a Mercedes with 3 Porsches. So right on his backside with Charles Wilken now also putting big pressure there.
Whoa!
Right.
Yeah, so Marcus definitely feeling that pressure. Charles right up behind them. And you can just see the splits of the cars currently.
I think Charles is going to go for that inside. Let's see. That Porsche is quite quick.
But Marcus going very, very defensive, having to cut off that inside. But is Charles going to be able to go around the outside? Yes, he does.
Well done.
Great move there.
I think Charles he braked very late there. That was quite impressive. He was determined. Well, there's quite a couple of battles brewing here.
So Mohat has got Bauer right behind him, and you can just see that even though Charles Wilken is pulling away, is Mohat putting that pressure now onto the back of Marcus Steyn. But what's just caught my eye is the battle out in front. There's your first place man, Christian Deploy, out in front. Ryan Otten's in second, and Mr. Giovanni Apozio right behind him, applying pressure of his own there.
Yeah, he's been putting pressure on Ottens now for a while. And that would Deploy would love that.
Well, I'm saying all it's doing is just making Ryan watch those rear view mirrors and having to drive just a little bit more defensively than I'm sure he would have wanted to.
Yes, and that would make Kieran du Plessis smile as well, because not too far back.
So here we go, Porsche on Porsche action. And Chris Honecker currently in 10th place, looking to get around Randabel. It looks like he should have the inside line. Is he going to try and squeeze him? He has to leave the space and goes through. Great overtake, but now look who's coming to the picture. And that is Mr. Charles Wilken now. Right on the back of the 10th place Porsche. As he goes wide, Charles will be able to move up to the inside. He's going to set himself up into turn 4.
Oh, yes.
Another place there for him.
Yeah. Good solid overtake. Hard braking into turn 5. Some guys go down to first.
So generally into 5, I like the first gear. It just helps the car rotate a little bit more.
Yeah, just brings that nose in a little bit.
And with me driving the Ferrari lately, is that you got to get those revs back up, and in second gear you just kind of find that the car just bogs down a little bit there.
Yes.
But as much as I want to see what's happening out in front here, there's this battle that's brewing.
Randabel has got lots of pressure.
Oh, that was Scholl. It was Scholl that actually went wide there.
Yes, I saw a car go wide. Whoa, there I see lots of balls flying.
So, it looks like Scholl came into the braking zone and just had carried too much speed.
He was too deep and offline, so he probably braked on the marbles as well, which...
so you can just see that holding his line there. Just crazy to think that after that one little mistake, Scholl now dropping down an additional 3 places.
And he has to do the work all over again.
So
Christopher Radloff has got 2 very aggressive guys.
What we did just miss was this move by Christopher Radloff, going on the inside into turn number 1, side by side with Nicholas, just getting himself through there.
Well done.
So a great overtake there for Mr. Flatout himself.
Wow, and the Porsche is also right there, waiting. That was Jadwatch Porsche.
So, yes, and Emmanuel's...
He did overtake him.
Bash actually did get that place. So Bash now up into a 6th position. Giovanni is still right on the back of Ryan Ottens here. And Christian Deploy just easing away the time there. You can see now 3.8 seconds is that gap between himself and this battle happening behind him.
Yeah, and I see Musa and Wilken is right on top of Stein.
Seeing that Fleming Bauer has just moved himself up the order, just getting himself ahead of Lorero. But now it's the boys from LTR, and that is Sean Lorero and Jude Neville, having started at the back and are now coming through the field. Oh, that Porsche's a little bit unsteady there.
Yes, yeah, I think he clipped the inside curve there a little bit and threw the rear out. But there's lots of battles going on. You know, when I see there's still 43 minutes left.
And even though we're focusing in the middle, here there's still a battle down. This is the battle for 25th and 24th place. And this is Len Neary fighting against Raphael. And that's exactly what you want. You want to be seeing these battles, having the guys that are, you know, new to the PC racing scene, still slanging it out between them.
No, it's nice to see battles right through the field. Well, Jude Neville...
He really is struggling to get that rear hooked up on that AMG, it looks like it. And as Sean goes a little bit too deep into turn 5...
yeah, on this track, corner 3, if you don't manage in the beginning of the race and are too aggressive out corner 3, that's exactly the kind of problem you start getting around about now, especially.
Is that? Oh, I was about to say, is that a look on the inside for for Marcus Steyn, but it wasn't. Roundabout just too far. Mohat Musa right on the back of Steyn there. And Charles Wilkin, we saw him put in all the hard work to move himself up the order, take some of those places, and a little error into turn number 10 has found him at the back of this pack again.
I must say, Roundabout is managing that gap to Steyn. Charles Wilkin was in pressure now. No, he's still too far back.
But we have seen this Lamborghini doing some amazing things. So anything's possible. Oh, little jump off the curb there you saw.
Now the interesting question that I have is that I wonder which of these guys started on used tires and which started on new tires.
Well, the thing is that you don't necessarily have to change your tires because you're definitely going to be losing too much time. But I think it's more about the qualifying. If anybody went out and practiced and then did a qualifying on that could have impacted their time, but would have generally started on a new set.
And you think nobody would change tires?
No, I don't think it's worth it.
Alright.
So just watching Chris Heineke on the back of Grant Sebastian again. Just showing a little nose, just making the driver in front of you a little bit uneasy, and that's what you want to do. You want to rattle him, make him thinking, and let him start watching that rearview mirror. And I know I keep coming back to this battle, but this is because we've got so many cars that are just so close together. And is this where Shaw can set himself up as long as he gets a good exit, nice and tight through turn 16?
Musa also had a good exit.
So a message there from Terry Wilfred saying, go Team LTR. Unfortunately, Terry are not racing here this evening. But some pressure now for Fleming Bauer being pressurized by Jude Neville. And it looks like Michel Lorero in the background there has dropped down slightly that pace because he was up here with behind Fleming and seems to be just falling off the pace a little bit there.
Yeah. It looks like Christopher Radloff is managing the gap with Jadwa.
Oh, whoa, something's gone on here. Let's just go back and have a look. So this is Loic now coming into the braking zone. Oh, that rear just letting go, and unfortunately all that hard work that he had done himself now just completely wasted and gonna be nursing a little bit of damage.
Yes, that was yeah, this track really are very hard on the left rear.
So some inside information there. It says it looks like the Porsches are cooking those tires.
Yep. Yeah, that left rear is taking punishment if you're too aggressive, too quick on that first few corners.
So here we go. This is another opportunity. Can Mohat Musa get himself ahead of Marcus Steyn?
Well, he has caught up with him and dropped Charles Wilkins a little bit.
Oh, boards going wide. So Mohat is going to try go around the outside on the Porsche. They're going to be side by side. Is he going to set himself up for turn 2? He has been able to, but now that's going to put Marcus on the inside and Scholl right up the back now of Mohat. So that aggressive move has now led him into the clutches of Charles Wilkin. Charles going to have a dive now on the inside, just not close enough to get there, but enough to unsettle Mohat. Great racing here from these drivers now.
Yeah. And if they fight too hard, the 3 cars right behind them is right there with a little battle of their own.
So this just gives you a great idea of just how frantic this track is, especially when you've got drivers so close to each other. It's now into turn number 10. This is where we saw Shaw just managed to avoid that contact.
Wow, luckily he didn't lose a position. Well, someone went off there.
Trying to see.
Sebastian.
Yeah, Michael Struvik.
Oh, Struvik, sorry.
So that's up on the curb, and the rear just let go. Oh, so gentle.
That is that left rear. I think a lot of guys are going to struggle and to be very. The ones who conserve that left rear.
Oh, that's
up to now.
So the pit window looks like the guys are starting to make those changes. I saw Jude Neville now dropping down. Was wondering what was happening. Andre Serodio, 25th place, therefore he is starting to come up. And he has had an absolute nightmare of a race. But your man out in front, Christian Deploy, having started second, got the jump off the line, managed to sneak in front of Ryan Oatson's going into turn number 1. Ryan in a second place, and man oh man, Giovanni has not made this race very easy for Ryan whatsoever.
No, Ryan's been protecting his position from the word go, just like Paul had to last week.
I think the word is harassment.
Yeah, that I think you might actually feel a little bit violated after a while, I would say.
So another heated battle is between the AMG and the Porsche, and it looks like Chris Heineke got a great exit, but having to just back up. But that AMG is really starting to get loose on the rear there through Grant.
Also, yes, all of them, all the rear left tires, these guys are starting to those tires are starting to feel the punishment. I see all the cars starting to get squiggly on the throttle. Not of the right hand side corners. The right.
So Scholl going very defensive on the inside. Is Fleming Bauer going to be able to go around the outside? Very, very close there now into the braking zone. Scholl just able to hang on to it. It looked like there was a little touch there.
Scholl is really good on the brakes in that corner. Now this is the corner that really eats that tire. So by the time you get to corner 4, they're already hot, and then you have to come on them again very hard out of the corner 4 where they are now. There you see the McLaren, the Ferrari struggling a bit to get on the top.
Adrian Russell in the pits, Sean Loureiro in the pits, so the positions are going to be changing up ever so slightly. So far, the top 8, well, I say the top 10 haven't pitted. The only one that we would have seen, no, none of the top 10 have pitted at this point. The other person I can say is being harassed is Marcus Steyn by Moat Musa. You can just see how close he is, and Scholl in the background there. I'm sure he's going to want to start getting involved with this battle once again. See both Marcus and Moat running a little bit wide on the exit of turn 15. Scholl Wilken into the pits now. We just saw the green Lamborghini at the top of the screen there. And Adrian Russell now coming out into the mix here, right in the middle of the mid-pack battle.
Whoa, that was close. Musa putting lots of pressure now on Steyn. He's really...
If you think that's still pressure, we still got Chris Heineke on the back of Grant Sebastian.
And the thing is, if you really push very hard now to maybe go for an overtake. You can.
Oh,
that.
there you can
he's
see.
Squiggling. Yeah, he's already pushing very hard. Yeah, these tires are heating up properly, and I would think that the Porsche usually feels that a little bit more.
And look, I don't wanna be, what's that word, like insulting anybody, but I can tell you something. Mr. Nicholas Manuel in 7th place has had a pretty, can I say, uneventful race. He's kind of in between worlds here. He's not in the battles, just getting his own race done. He's not being harassed by anyone. And I'm pretty sure that he'd be quite happy with where he currently is.
Yes. And so would Christopher Radloff, that still keeping his 5th position from Jadwat.
Same as Kieran du Plessis, also a very uneventful race. Can't say no man's land, but he is in between the different packs, as well as Mr. Radloff. He does have a Bashir Jadwat, but in Bashir's defense is that he has been there for most of this race as well. It just hasn't been within the second. He's been there just out of that second gap, so we haven't really seen it come up on our timing for us to be watching.
Yeah. But Christopher had to protect this position for a long time now. There's quite a lot of battles going on this track.
So comments coming in. Ervia Jude saying that Jude has got good pace at the end of the race. So we'll love to see how that's going to plan out. And Tian Carsten saying a Du Plessis for the win. Man, go. Kieran is slow. What's happened here?
Oh, he struck something there, so he might have gone off at turn 9. Yes, it must be turn 9. That left rear. Yes, there was a snap. Yes. Well, he kept it. Nice save.
So just catching him off guard there, and that could have been a lot worse. So back to the battle of Mr. Flatout and Mr. Bashir.
Yeah, it's good to see Christopher racing here. Had many proper battles with that man.
So the interesting thing is that I think the BMW has actually got the legs down the main straight, which is making it tricky for Bash to close up. But as we start going through some of the twisty stuff, that's where Bash starts closing up. Nicholas Manuel and Grant Sebastian now in the pits. You can see how close they are. So that's going to be really, really interesting when they come out, because I said that Nicholas has had a pretty quiet race. But you can see how close Christian is actually behind him.
The time they spend in the pits would suggest maybe they do change tires.
So both of them are going a little bit longer than what I would expect.
Maybe the tires are really taking strain by the looks of the cars are very squeaky.
So that's whoa, it's going to be extremely close on the way out. They are going to just about be side by side. And Nicholas taking the straightest, shortest route. But are they going to be exiting too wide here? Looks like Nicholas has just got the upper hand there. But that is incredible how Grant was able to really close up on the back of Nicholas and add some pressure there. As now they've got...
right in front of... Whoa, that was very close. Both of them coming out
of Chris Heineke.
Heineke, yes.
But
and the tires might not be...
But this is full position, so these guys are basically slotted in position because Chris Heineke, he has pitted. So this isn't even a back marker.
Whoa, there's a tap from Sebastian on Chris Heineke. Just that's the camera's curse as we were watching them. Okay, he caught it. That's unfortunate.
So I do think I think that he was trying to just get that car slowed down, but I think the corner just caught him a little bit quicker than what he expected.
Yeah.
and wasn't able to pull out of that. So Christian Deploy, the race leader, now goes into the pits. So I want to see how he fares against Jude Neville. Is the highest positioned driver that has gone into the pits. Just trying to hear who is coming out behind him. But so far, Christian Deploy seems clear. So Rendabal in 8th place, closing up to the end. Oh, you can see these guys are really starting to struggle with these tires.
Okay, so the leader going into the pits pushed the top 4 all up. That means that the top 6 or 7, now all the way to Bauer, has not pitted yet.
Yeah, so Porzio, he's gone into the pits and he was chasing Ryan. I'm sure Ryan's going to be extremely happy to get just a little bit of a breather there. Now he can focus on getting those lap times down. Thank you, Brandon DeSantos, approving of this. So
Thanks, Brandon.
Marcus Stain getting a position up. And in shot, we've also got Adrian.
Whoa, that was extremely close. The Ferrari really missed the braking point there. I almost thought he was going to take poor Marcus Stone out.
Well, let's just have a look. I just looked off to the side of the screen and did miss it. Oh, yeah.
Well, he had to straighten up the car there.
Little deep, but it looks like he did manage to get away with that. So, here we go. Nicholas Emmanuel in 14th place has got a fast charging Chris Haneke and Mohat Musa behind him. And this is now Mohat having that straight line speed battle with Chris in the Porsche. And I told you that BMW definitely has the legs down the straight.
Yes.
So Haneke will have to just back out of that move, give him the space.
Chris Heineke is not giving it up easily.
So Loic now out of the pits. Something happened here with Wilfred Robson. He does look like he's going a little slower than expected. Maybe it was just gathering speed.
Okay, when Ottens come into pit, it's going to be very, very interesting where he feeds back in. If Porsche could have maybe jumped him, that would be interesting. And okay, I see Jude Neville is about 8 seconds behind Porsche, but that would be interesting where Ottens is going to filter back in.
So just looking at Porzio is 14 seconds behind Christian, so that is quite a gap. But again, yes, so Jude is 9 seconds behind Porzio, so he's currently provisional 3rd place, depending on what happens with Ryan Kewen and Christopher Radloff when they come into the pits. So it is going to be very interesting. And are those tires of the guys in the front, are they going to start wearing to a point where they're going to have to get out? Ooh. And this is
past Christopher. I see Christopher lost the position to Bashir.
So that is a Jabulani there on the inside. Looks like Christopher Radloff thought that he would try to go around the outside of Jubs, but unfortunately not enough space. And Bash just takes opportunity and sneaks up on the inside.
Well, they're losing lots of time behind.
But Christopher Radloff in the BMW, is he going to have a dive on the inside? So does have to heal the place, not close enough.
You see that the more they battle now, the further down they'll filter back in after their pit stop, because not one of them has pitted yet. It's going to be very interesting.
So Fleming Bauer now taking the opportunity to go into the pits. Another driver will have to see where he comes out, because he was battling there just behind Jude Neville, and in between him and Sean Loureiro.
I must say that BM looks nice. That into and out of the corners, I must say. The car looks hooked up.
And man, oh man, these three guys have got themselves quite a handful, because I don't know if you saw who was in the background there. And there he is, Mr. Charles Walken. So as these guys fight, all they're doing is bringing Charles Walken back in. And now Manuel is going to be fighting for the places that are on offer. And Fleming Bauer...
Musa went deep.
Oh, Musa has gone very deep.
Yeah, he missed his braking point, but that's easy to get sucked into that corner.
But look who's basically been able to jump them, and that is Fleming Bauer.
Yes. He came out in front of that whole battle. And his tires, it's going to be interesting, because his tires are only coming up to pressure now. That's if he changed. But even if you stood still for a while, the pressure's changed.
Yo. So that little three-way battle is now becoming a five-way horse. And it does look like Bashir is starting to just open a little bit of a gap there, because that gap is now 1 second between himself and Christopher Radloff. But this is now where the money shot is.
Whoa,
too wide for Heineke, slow on the brakes, having to feeling the effects of a concertina, which allows Walken to go up. But hold on, there is a whole bunch of stuff that we just missed there. And I'll tell you why, because Nicholas, he was ahead in this battle. Musa goes up on the inside.
Whoa, that Porsche almost hit Manuel.
So Bauer leads that battle, but it was Musa that was one of the victors there as well.
Well, there's only 20 minutes left.
What do you mean? There's still 20 minutes left. Are these tires going to last? That's the question. Who's going to be able to hang on to the end there?
Well, when I see how hard they are pushing, they're obviously not really worried about the tires anymore. They are fighting so hard for their position.
Going to change of position here, and that's a Russell going ahead of Bond. And Christian Deploy, man on a mission, has set the fastest lap time this lap, and that is on a 143.9. So absolutely crack of a lap. So you can't tell me that there's something wrong with those tires.
Yeah, that's quicker than the qualifying lap.
So Bauer leads this battle from 11th place. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th. And we just missed Chris Heineke there in 15th place.
Okay, the top 4, 5.
Okay, staying into pits.
Right, the top 5 hasn't pitted yet.
So Ottens, Kewen, Bash, Christopher and Neil Greening still to pit. So my question is, will Mohat be able to get this BMW ahead of the Ferrari? We know the BMW is quick down this main straight. Is there an opportunity for that move?
Well, and you don't want to be slowed up too much, because there's 3 cars right behind waiting in the wings to join this battle.
So Mohat taking advantage, getting it up on the inside. Bauer has to let him through.
Oh, solid overtake. Well
Absolutely
done.
Incredible move there. And
but that deep green, Charles Wilkin and Manuel up. right up.
And a Scholl on the inside, just sneaking up there. Nicholas not able to close that gap, but I'm sure he's going to fight now for the second part of this into turn 5. Is he just not able to get that cutback done? Was a little bit of a touch there.
Yeah, no, that was an aggressive, bold move by Scholl, but well executed.
So positions changing once again, and what I haven't realized, it just shows you, because there's Sean Lerero in 10th place, and you can see this battle is just behind him, because you can hear them in the background, and there's the battle. So Sean's going to have to get a move on here, otherwise he's going to have 5 cars right on his rear. So Neil Greening now into the pits. So Marcus goes up a position, Porzio goes up a position, and interestingly enough, the man in second place, provisional second place, is Marcus Stein, because he's managed to get himself ahead of Porzio.
Well, that is, I don't know how he accomplished that.
Well, I've got Marcus Stein as having been in the pits. Rafael Tav getting out of the way.
Well, that means Stein.
Oh, and here's Greening right in the thick of things. Just could not get the tires hooked up.
Wow, he got out of the pit straight into a ferocious battle.
Oh no, I missed it. Oh, I was trying to go back for the replay. It missed it. No! But Neil Greening, slotted right in the middle of that. And I just think all those cars, and look who else has come back to the party. It is Grant Sebastian in 16th place. So absolutely crazy what's going on at this moment. So there's Lerero, Musa, Bauer, Wilken, Heineke, Emmanuel, Greening, Sebastian. It is so close in this last 15 minutes on the dot. And we still have Ottens, Kewen, Duplessis, and Bashir Jadwat, Christopher Radloff that still need to pit. Where do they come out?
Well, it looks like they might enter straight into that battle, which would be crazy.
So here we go. This is a side-by-side for Porzio on the Porsche, and that is Marcus Stein dropping down into a 3rd position.
Oh, it looks like that Lamborghini has way more grip out that corner than what the Porsche has.
So just reading some of your comments, guys. Thanks so much for the support. It's just been so crazy. Toki saying that Ferrari doesn't seem to know what cars finish races. Adrian saying that Julian Lerero already building up nicely. They most certainly have. Another comment just saying Ryan has looked after his tires so well, so he might as well be pushing. Brilliant move by Musa. Can't agree with you more there, Adrian. And Brandon saying that the BMW is quick down the straight, and we've seen it. And man, oh man, it has been pretty interesting. And Mr. Radloff right on the back of Bash. And that's 100% spot on there, Adria. Jude started in last place and has fought his way up and is now currently in 8th position. An absolute great result there for him.
These two have been battling the whole race.
But now we're going back to our seven horse.
Well, the pack has broken up a little bit, but Charles is under big pressure.
So is that so Scholl going into the inside
Defensive.
to
Very defensive.
to defend, but you
Oh,
can
he
just
takes
see
him on the outside. Wow.
Chris going on the outside, just not able to get those rears hooked up, and that's going to allow.
Oh, another one. It looks like that Porsche is struggling on the rear, on the throttle.
So Nicholas now, I'm sure, chomping at the bit, seeing how that car is
He's
not
going
happy.
for it. He's going for it. Oh,
Just backing out in time.
I think looks like Chris is struggling with that left side tires.
Those tires are not looking happy at all. So here we go. We start seeing our front runners going into the pits. So that is Bash now in the pits. So he's now on his way out.
Ah, like that Porsche.
So here comes Giovanni out. Bash is still getting up to speed.
Let's see where he's going to filter in.
So it looks like Bash is slotted in second place. Because now he is going through turn 1 and 2. Christian deploy further down the field. And there's Giovanni still approaching turn number 1.
Well, then that is phenomenal. Because he was fighting for 4th place.
Still understanding that Ryan Kewen and Christopher Radloff still need to pit as well.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He was fighting with Christopher Radloff.
Meanwhile, it's actually put him provisional second now. So let's see. Ryan Ottens into the pits.
Wow, he must have not changed tires because it looks like some of the guys did change tires.
So new a race leader as he goes on for another lap. So Kewen will take pole position, knowing that he still needs to pit. Ryan needs to pit as well as Mr. Christopher Radloff. But now the question is he going to be able to hit the undercut from Bash, or is he going longer going to be able to assist him? So
he must put in very good lap times now if he wants to achieve that. And
so
luckily he's got open space to do.
I think Sean's under a bit of trouble here because Sean was in 9th place. He has dropped down. Looks like there's a bit of some black paint on the back of that Porsche. So Ryan now comes out of the pits, and he is...
That's going to be interesting.
He is ahead.
How can he be ahead of that? Then he jumped. Deploy.
Ryan. Because that's Ryan now coming... He's got to get my bearings. So that's him now going into 7 and 8. If we go to Christian, there's Christian going into 7 and 8. So Ryan Ottens out in front has clawed back on Christian and has jumped ahead of Christian Deploy.
Because you must remember that Deploy was 3.5 seconds ahead of Ottens when he went in. So Ottens did a brilliant job. He must have put in a few stellar laps.
And now Christian's going to be held up ever so slightly now, just approaching some of the back markers. But Christian, who was out in front for majority of the race, has now found himself. Well done, well done. And we understand why Christian did that. He is absolutely trying to charge. And Avi is saying what I said. Ryan is a master of strategy, so possibly just hanging onto those tires. And is now able to use them for the last now 8 minutes of this race. But still to pit is Kewen Duplessis as well as Christopher Radloff. But looking at the top place drivers who have pitted, it is Ryan, then Christian, Bash in the 3rd place, So it's all now up to Kieran and Christopher to see where they come out at the end here. So the gaps are starting to open up ever so slightly now. Just over a second between Nicholas through to Chris, to Grant, to Fleming, to Neil, to Wilfred, to Loic.
Sorry, I lost comms there for a moment.
So Ewan not going into the pits just yet, but here we go. Christopher Radloff going into the pits. Where is Ryan? So Ryan now coming in through the last chicane. He'll now exit out of turn 15. Out of turn 16, Christopher now is going to be stopping.
Let's see how long he stops. That's going to be interesting.
So here goes a deploy, so he will move himself up ahead of Christopher Radloff. Christopher is now coming out of pits. Bash is crossing the start-finish line now, and it looks like that's Bash that's now just gone past. So Christopher has lost time to Bash.
Wow.
Because Bash now goes out, but now it's Giovanni Portio right behind Christopher Radloff. As they're going to be side by side into turn 1, so Radloff has unfortunately lost that place.
Oh, okay,
no, wait, he hasn't, because Portio is right behind it. It was one of the Bond cars that threw me off a bit there, but Christopher has been able to get ahead of Portio, thinking that Portio was chasing Ryan Ottens, who is now leading this race.
Well, and Portio lost out 2 positions.
In the pit stops, 100%.
Wow, Christopher Radloff made up a position from the start.
And that was through his pit stop.
Just through his pit stop, because he was in a battle the whole race, and that could not be good for your time. So, well done to Jadwat and Radloff. Okay, they're brilliant. And Neville, that I mentioned in the beginning of the race, that he might have a different strategy, worked out brilliantly.
So we just
up to 8th place.
Just saw quite an easy overtake there for Wilfred Robson, just getting himself ahead of Neil Greening. And Randabal right there behind, looking for an opportunity to come past. But here we go. Kieran now out of the pits. Where is Bash? So Bash now crosses the start-finish line. Kieran still ahead there. So Kieran will come out in 3rd place. Bash 4th. Radloff 5th. Portio in 6th. Marcus Stain 7th. Jude 8th. Morat 9th. Sean Herrera 10th. And man, has this been a crazy race to say the least.
I'm very surprised at very good races by Stein and Neville that started right at the back. All the way up into the top 10. That's well done.
So that is Ron Heineke, who currently is in the pits. Jub's up 2 positions from where he started. But there's still something waiting to happen just here, because that is Bauer. Fleming Bauer, I should say. Who's on the back of Grant Sebastian. And just toying with that second. And as these tires start coming to end of life, still expecting a couple positions to still change up.
Yeah, you can see some of the guys are struggling getting onto the throttle. And the cars are becoming twitchy into the corners as well. So it's start fiddling with that traction control, maybe.
Or just not be so heavy on the throttle.
On the other hand, these guys are all fighting hard for the last positions that they can get, because there's only just more than 2 minutes left of this race. So now it's all or nothing. Whoa, and the Porsche hard on the brakes, missing that point a little bit, getting sucked in.
And I think what happened there is just the front tires coming to end of life, just not having that grip anymore. You also don't have as much of the weight of the fuel on that front that helps you with that turn in. So the car is definitely changing the characteristics of how they're working.
Definitely.
So 2 minutes left of this race, and absolutely incredible to see how those positions have changed up as we've gone along.
Yeah, there was quite a few surprises. I really am impressed with Ottens that jumped deploy, and quite by a bit. So I don't know if something happened to deploy into the pits or maybe out the pits or something that we did not catch, but that's quite a big margin that he came out in front of deploy after the pits. And of course, Q and Duplessis, brilliant race. But after that, the top 6 or so, it looks like they came out about spaced out a little bit. Porsche is putting some pressure on Radloff. Robson is putting heavy pressure on Musa.
And this is the thing about Radloff now, is I think that he'll be safe because this BMW has got legs down this main straight.
Yes, if he can keep Porsche at bay in the some of the twisty parts, then Bob's your uncle.
So Ryan Otten's best lap was a 1:45.1 versus Christian Deploy's at a 1:43.8.
Yeah. So maybe that was, maybe Christian
got held up in the pits and thought maybe to go for the tires.
Yeah, we didn't see what happened, but
because it that's now the gap between Ryan and Christian. So I think maybe Christian decided to go for the tires, where Orion decided don't take the tires, because it's nearly 1.5 seconds a lap is what Christian is now pulling on Ryan, but it's a little too much too late.
Yeah, that's it.
So here we go. That is Orion Ottens who crosses the line and takes the win there. Christian Deploy will come home in a second place.
Well done.
Ewan Duplessis finishes in third. Great drive there for him. Bash battled and fought with Christopher Radloff for most of the race. And there's something's happened here.
Yeah, something happened to
and this is Porzio and Radloff coming into the last couple of corners. Oh, just spinning Christopher around.
He wanted to duck for the inside.
But there it shows you that Porzio did give him that position.
Yes.
So Radloff 5th, Porzio in 6th, Marcus Steyn 7th, Jude Neville an amazing 8th place there for him. You can see how excited he is there. Mohat 9th, Sean Herrero 10, Charles Wilkin 11, Nicholas Manuel, he's going to come home in a 12th place, followed by Chris Heineke, Grant Sebastian 14, Fleming Bowing, followed by Wilfred Robson. Then it is Loic 17th, Neil Greening 18th. See how fast they cross in the line. Aiden 19, Andres Rodio 20, Wayne Bond 21, Adrian Bond 22, Michael Struvic 23, Rafael Tav in 24th, Jabulani Amadzi Vandoli Madzi Vandondo. There we go. 25th there for him. And Len Neary will finish off in a 25th place. 26th place there for him. So, man, oh man, absolutely incredible. Really looking forward to the drivers. Let's just get some of this other stuff off here quickly. Just having a chat to those the drivers and just seeing how that race was. But wow, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, there was awesome battles right through the grid the whole race long. That was nice.
All right, guys, we're going to be right back. Let's just get the top 3 in the chat, and we will be back shortly. We'll be there now.